Hey guys, so I guess I thought I would do like a little vlog of my situation with my boob, and just sort of take you on this journey with me to find out what is up with me and sort of the tests and stuff that I'm going to have done and hopefully get to the bottom of it. So a little bit of a backstory. I woke up 3 weeks ago today, woke up and my boob was ginormous, really swollen and really hard. Don't know why, hadn't done anything in particular. Trained the day before, just did shoulders and a few press ups, but nothing out of the ordinary. I've had my breast implants for 7 years and they've been absolutely fine, no problems at all, absolutely loved them. So it was really strange to wake up on the Tuesday morning 3 weeks ago and find it really large and swollen. I messaged my plastic surgeon and he saw me the next day. He had a look and said it could be a number of things and he'd really like me to get an ultrasound and an aspiration. So that's where they draw some of the fluid and get a biopsy and just check that it is nothing sinister. It could be a seroma, it could be a hematoma, it could be a rupture, which is called an infection. Worst case scenario, there is a type of cancer that's caused by some breast implants, or it's more to do with like the scar tissue, I think. But that's really, really rare and really, really unlikely. But he said it would be stupid of us to not rule it out, so it's best to get the tests done. Obviously, I had a holiday booked. By the time they rang me, I was already on my holiday. When they tried to book the appointment, it was for the day before I was coming home. So I said I could do the next day, but then they said that was out of the 2-week window that the NHS have here in the UK. So I'd need to get re-referred by my GP, which all became a bit of a drama because they said they were going to contact my GP and they never did. So got back from my holiday, it'd been another week, not heard anything regarding a new appointment. Contacted them, contacted the GP myself, got re-referred, and then eventually got an appointment for Saturday coming, and it's Tuesday today, so that would have been like 3.5 weeks since the issue arose. The pain was getting worse, my boobs just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I called them and tried to ask if there's any way of getting me in sooner. She said if the pain's really bad, go to A&E. So Friday evening I went to A&E and they took my bloods and said I have signs of an infection and inflammation, so they gave me some antibiotics and said that someone would call me Monday to try and see me Monday, as in yesterday. Unfortunately, that wasn't the truth, and they said, oh, your appointment is Thursday, and because the lady who'd booked me for Saturday managed to get me in for Thursday, and they said, oh yeah, it's still Thursday and you've got your antibiotics, and I've been taking them now. Last 2 I take today and nothing has changed. And then fortunately, long story short, the really, really nice lady who'd moved my appointment from Saturday to Thursday rang me yesterday and said there was a cancellation today at 10. So I'm finally getting seen by the breast clinic today at 10, so very shortly. I'm a bit nervous, but I probably won't find out still what is up with me, because the test results won't be immediate. They can take up to like 2 weeks. So obviously the ultrasound might show something. We've obviously tried the antibiotics and so far they've not done anything, but it would just be good to finally see somebody and sort of get some answers, or at least be on the path to getting some answers. Obviously I was meant to be competing in Spain in less than 2 weeks time, which just doesn't look like it's going to be possible, which means I've probably got no chance now of qualifying for the Olympia, and I wanted to do that this year as like my final show and then take a step back from competing in bodybuilding and fitness, at least for a while. So that's kind of a bit of a shame that this has all happened, especially when I've been prepping. I'm still prepping anyway now, just in case. And the prep's been going really well. Like, I've not been really hungry, I've enjoyed training and cardio, and I've actually felt really chilled. So it's a bit of a bummer that this really good prep is potentially going to result in no competition. But like I said, I'm still just carrying on with my diet, training as much as I can. On holiday I just worked around the boob and just did really light upper body, like kind of almost felt pointless, but it's better to do something than nothing. And then try to do quite a lot of legs, and then obviously done my cardio every day. So I feel a little bit small and like I haven't really got like a pump on my upper body, but I am leaning up nicely. feel really good. Hard to tense. I can't really tense this side because obviously the boob and chest feels really uncomfortable. But I think that's pretty much everything up to date. So I'm heading, to Maidstone Hospital. Probably leave in about 20 minutes, and I'll let you know what they say. But thank you for all the well wishes on my posts on Instagram. Really appreciate everyone's messages and comments and stuff. It's really, really sweet. I'm sure it's going to be nothing major and an easy fix, just really poo timing. So we just keep on going, right? Keep calm and carry on, as we say here in England. But yeah, speak to you shortly. Hey people, so just got back from my appointment, and the doctor did an ultrasound and said from what he can see he's leaning towards some sort of rupture, so an implant rupture, but you can't actually see it on the ultrasound. And he said he wants to know why there's such a big buildup of fluid. So he did do an aspiration, which means he drew out the fluid, and he did, I think, 7 lots of 60 plus a little bit extra. So it was like 430 mils or 430 cc of fluid, which is double what my implant is. My implant's 425 cc on its own, and it still wasn't all of it. But he said they tried to go for more, and something was blocking it. He said like maybe some debris or something. Obviously gonna put some in a pot and send some off for testing, which will take 2 weeks to get the results. So yeah, unfortunately a bit of a wait, not much I can do until then. And he said, depending on obviously what the results come back as, he might schedule me in for an MRI, because that way you'll be able to see if there is actually a rupture. So he said it's highly likely my boob is going to fill back up within the next couple of days, and if that does happen, I have to give them a call, go back in, and they will aspirate it again, which really wasn't the most pleasant thing in the world. I'm going to show you the difference in my boobs now and how it looks now that it's had the aspiration done. I'll just cover my nipples with my hands and show you. As you can see, it is still quite a lot bigger than my other boob. Still quite swollen. So yeah, even with removal of 430 millilitres, there's still a lot of fluid left in there. So we'll see how it looks after a couple of days, and I'll just keep you updated. Hey, me again. So today is Friday, which means it has been 3 days since I went to the doctor's, had the ultrasound and the aspiration. So yeah, I had that on Tuesday, and today is Friday. And as mentioned, the doctor said it's highly likely my breast will start to fill back up, and it sure has. So as you can see, it's not quite as big and hard as it was when I went, but it's definitely getting there. So I know I had someone mention on Instagram, they were like, I don't understand how it's filling back up. But basically my implants are Mentor Siltex implants. So they are textured implants, which are used quite a lot in Europe and England, and I guess in America as well. Basically they're just meant to sit better, look better, but there are more risks, as it turns out, over sort of the last few years. Sort of the risk of a type of blood cancer called BIALCL. It's like a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer, like a blood cancer, that is only been reported in textured implants. So it's more common in another brand of implant called Allergen Biocell, I think, Allergen implants, but there has been cases reported in Mentor implants as well. So obviously I have been stressing myself out a little bit over the last few days, doing some research, looking into things, and I'm still sure that it's going to be nothing major, but it is kind of quite stressful waiting for the results. and not knowing what is wrong. So back to my point of how they can't just fill back up. So they're silicone implants that basically, if you were to cut them in half, they'd be like a gummy bear, so they won't spill. It's not like saline or saline inside that then seeps out. It's like hard, like squishy but hard. So yeah, if they're to rupture or break, usually it's quite a clean break and it just sort of sits there and nothing really filters out. So the fluid buildup I have isn't from my implant, it's my body producing this excess fluid. So that's why after the aspiration it's filled back up for whatever reason. So I just wanted to mention a few side effects that I have had, or symptoms I have had since this situation. I've had night sweats pretty much since this started. I got them on holiday and I just assumed it was because I was hot on holiday, but we did have the aircon on every single night and I was waking up every single night like dripping with sweat. I did like feel a little bit poorly, so I thought, oh, maybe it's just that I'm just a bit hot, a bit ill. But obviously now I'm starting to think it could be to do with this, because I'm still getting it now since being back home after my holiday, and I'm getting it pretty much every single night. I had a massive nap yesterday, like I'm talking like 4 or 5 hours sleep during the day, and I got it during that as well, like dripping down my chest and my stomach and back and even like my head. So it's pretty gross. So that's another thing, like being extra tired. I've also had no appetite, which I thought was just me having an awesome prep. I thought, wow, this prep is going so well. I've not been hungry. And normally I'm like ravenous. I'm a really hungry girl. And I've not had these overwhelming urges to eat, and when I do have a cheat meal, I'm like full really quick and I don't want to eat anymore, and that's just really unlike me. I hope that that's not a symptom, because I've loved not being really hungry all the time, because it sucks always being hungry. But yeah, I have had a massive decrease in my appetite. So yeah, we've got night sweats, tiredness, fatigue, the loss of appetite. I also do have this sort of ongoing little cough. I don't know if it's to do with this. I think it could be, but like I'm not ill, but I just have this like like this little kind of dry cough. Obviously I forced that one out. That's just kind of always apparent. The pain hasn't really, I get like these little random sort of pangs of pain from like the center of my boob, but overall the pain was really bad when the swelling was like huge, just because I was so uncomfortable and it felt so tight. Since it's been drained, like the pain hasn't been that bad. Obviously the main side effect being the swelling and the fluid. I think that's pretty much all of the side effects or symptoms that I've honestly noticed. Obviously this boob is a lot hotter than my smaller boob, but I haven't had a rash or reddening or anything like that. I've had some like random bruises pop up in random places, but I don't know if that's just me being clumsy and not realizing that I'm like bashing my body against things, so that could just be me. I'm feeling good in the sense that things are moving along, hopefully, and we're getting closer to getting some answers. I still feel a bit apprehensive and nervous as to what actually is up with me, whether it is just going to be like a rupture or whether it's going to be like that BIALCL. Obviously, when I'm going to have surgery, how intense the surgery is going to be, how quick the recovery is going to be, when I can get back to sort of normal training. I'm just doing cardio at the moment and legs, and just trying to rest as much as possible and be patient, which is really, really hard, but I'm still being really positive. What will be, will be. We'll deal with whatever situation arises. And yeah, I'm just hoping it isn't 2 weeks to hear from the doctor with the results. I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit quicker, But yeah, that's just my general update. I'm going to work this weekend. It's Friday, so I'm going to do my cabaret show tonight and a late show in London. And then tomorrow I've got the brunch. And then tomorrow night, another job in Tunbridge Wells, not too far from where I live. So I'm just going to fashion my hair over one side so you can't see the asymmetry in my boobs. And then the brunch and the other job tomorrow, they're kind of covered up costumes. So that's all good. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up there for now. Obviously, I will keep you updated with any other changes or when I hear from the doctors. Did I already mention that they told me, I rang the breast clinic about my boobs swelling back up yesterday, and they said to go to A&E to get it aspirated again. And I just said no, I'd rather wait till the results come through, because if I get it aspirated and then it just fills back up again, what, every few days I'm just going to get it like drained. It just seems long, like a long wait at A&E, and it's uncomfortable and painful when they do the aspiration. And I just think, oh, I'd rather not prod about in there if we can just hold out and wait for the results. But obviously if it gets really bad, maybe Sunday or Monday, I will consider it. So yeah, speak to you soon with hopefully a new update.